This makes me so mad. Hey, Dems, do us a favor, will ya? If you're gonna force the most milquetoast ineffective centrists on us, at the very least, get them some goddamn new media training. Will ya? Not just new media training, but new media training for the love of all that is unholy. Because, watch this. This is Hakeem Jeffries, House Minority Leader, one of the most senior members of Democratic leadership, confronting Lawler over the budget. And this just might send me over the edge. Brace yourselves.
We got a 1-year extension. Why don't we sign on right now?
Let me ask you a question. Did you get permission from your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss, Donald Trump?
You can easily extend the ACA right now.
Did your boss, Donald Trump, give you permission?
He's not my boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way,
so let me ask you a
why
question.
did you vote to shut the government down? Why did you vote to shut it down?
Let me ask you a question.
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to make yourself relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to this.
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
You could sign on to this. The only embarrassment here is you.
You're an embarrassment.
You could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on here. Why won't you sign on to it?
Let me ask you a question.
It's a clean extension for 1 year.
Let me ask you a question. What are you waiting for, Hakeem? Permission? What exactly are you envisioning here? That Lawler's just gonna stop talking and say, you know what, Hakeem, I've spoken enough. Now it's your turn. we are so good.
It's a clean extension for 1 year.
You voted for the one big ugly bill, correct?
I voted for a tax cut bill that gave the largest tax cut to Americans in history, including, by the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
Do you want to cut the standard deduction in half?
The
Is that
largest
what you
cut
wanted
to
to do?
Medicaid in
No, we
American
voted
history.
out
You voted
waste,
for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the
You
way.
voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
controller of New York,
Let me ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2 billion
If you're
were
gonna-
wasted.
Listen, you're not going to talk. You're not going to talk to me.
Wasted
You're not
on
going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over me
non-New York residents
because you don't
getting
want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm listening.
So why
Go
don't you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you
is
showed up.
Is that the way to
you
talk?
You showed up.
Yeah.
And so you voted for this one
I
big
signed
ugly
on
bill.
for this. You can extend it right
A
now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors.
So 90% of
So
Americans.
they can get a permanent extension.
90% of
but
Americans
working
take the
class
standard
Americans
deduction.
can't? Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that right?
If
This goes on for about 5 minutes. Now, he makes some improvement, but he mostly just finds a couple of pithy remarks that he repeats over and over. What is this? The craziest part is that you got halfway there, Hakeem, when you start saying, you're doing this to make a show out of it. You're chasing clout. Somehow, it seems, you're perfectly capable of understanding exactly what's going on here, but you're also ill-equipped? Or is it just plain old hubris? The problem with Dem leadership is that not only have you become ideologically obsolete, you seem to have aged out of modern media literacy. And that's a choice, by the way. You could learn, you could adapt, but that would require bringing in people that are younger than you and admitting that they know more about something than you do. And mind you, this isn't just a question of difference in communication style. This is literally a matter of effectiveness. Because Lawler doesn't waste a single moment of this. Lawler never stops spouting the propaganda with very clear directives behind it. They have their points written and rehearsed. They blame Dems for the shutdown every time it's mentioned. Talk about the 1-year delay to the cuts that they conceded. He talks about waste, fraud, and abuse. Talks about how New Yorkers, Hakeem Jeffries' constituents are going to suffer. He repeats, you can pass an ACA extension right now. Jeffries, meanwhile, is stuck on things like, did your boss Donald Trump approve that? Did your billionaire donors approve that? That's the most compelling thing you can come up with? Jeffries, come on. People are gonna lose their health care. Oh my God. And you don't have to take my word for it. Look at the coverage immediately following this. ABC News, quote, we got a 1-year extension. Why don't we sign on right now? Lawler said. Did you get permission from your boss? Jeffries responded. Did your boss, Donald Trump, give you permission? Quote, you can easily extend the ACA right now, Lawler said. Then to explain what Jeffries wants, they have to refer to something he said earlier this week. Quote, you are making a show of this to make yourself relevant. You're embarrassing yourself right now. Why don't you just keep your mouth shut? Note that even though Jeffries has more quotes in here, none of them have any substance. And there's plenty of substance for him to draw from. There's plenty to say about this bill. Meanwhile, Lawler gets every point of his messaging in. Just look at Fox News. Obviously, their coverage is going to be Fox News coverage. But once again, it is peppered with various different points that Lawler hit, taunting Jeffries about endorsing Mamdani, which he still hasn't done. Quote, first of all, I don't answer to you. You don't even answer to yourself, Jeffries responded. Wow. We've got a 1-year extension. Why don't you sign on right now? Lawler. Did you get permission from your boss? Did your boss, Donald Trump, give you permission? Jeffries. He's not my boss. Lawler. Jeffries, you're an embarrassment. Lawler, I voted for a tax cut bill that gave the largest tax cut to Americans in history, including, by the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that? Jeffries responded, quote, you're embarrassing yourself. The largest cut to Medicaid in American history. You voted for that. You're not going to talk to me and talk over me because you don't want to hear what I have to say, so why don't you just keep your mouth shut? You wanted Republicans to be here, I'm here. And by the way, you can pass an ACA extension right now. Sign on to this bill. Jeffries, Mike, is your boss Donald Trump behind it? I can't. I can't believe we're still here. I can't believe we are here and you guys still haven't figured out how to operate in this landscape. What do we have to do? The good news is there are rumblings that New York City progressive city council member and close Mamdani ally Chi Osei might be considering primarying Jeffries. And all I can say is that as a regrettable Jeffries constituent, that sounds nice. In the meantime, won't someone teach Hakeem Jeffries how to clip farm? For the sake of democracy.